going back to my high school humanities teacher, the people that I hold close to my heart as mentors are people that have absolutely no filter in giving me information. Nothing's protected. It is a constant stream of of, of bullets and clues and a curiosity, right? So and practical technical things. When my first job for 5 years was with the Minnesota Opera as a music staff, and their artistic director Dale Johnson, who was very important in my evolution, basically taught me how opera's put together, how all of the attributes that one needs to have to put on a successful production, from planning to the execution and the performance, all of that, the multi-year process of putting an opera together. That was super important for me. And an unabashed love for singers. Always loving the singer, always knowing that their job is the most difficult, not to mention the carpentry and the costume shop as well, the creatives. But he was super important. Someone else later on, when I was on the music staff at Santa Fe, I met this conductor, Kenneth Montgomery, who recently passed away this spring. I went to a reading, orchestra reading. He was doing Beatrice and Benedict. And this was a transformational moment in my life. The French horn player asked him a question, and the maestro said, Kenneth Montgomery said to him, "I don't know." And at first, being an arrogant SO, whatever, I'm like, how could he not know? This is terrible. How can he not? And then I saw the orchestra sit taller and play better. And I'm like, I can be myself. I don't have to pretend anything to be anything. Of course, the next rehearsal, Maestro Montgomery brought literally volumes of information, performance practice information, and had the answer and informed the player of what the options were. And this collaboration, this just incessant curiosity, that he infected me with that, of really knowing what you're doing, and then admitting, as someone who is working in this craft, that you are always the constant student. And then through my journey, two other people, Jake Hagee and Carlisle Floyd, really impacted me, changed me, and made me a better musician and a better storyteller in the pit.
I loved your answer. As a visual artist, somehow I always think of musicians as at least the way it's depicted in cinema, for example, is that they get bullied by maestros, and or various things happen. There's more of a tolerance for not being nice to people, and as a visual artist, when I was in art school, the teachers always find ways to say something nice about whatever you're doing. They'll say, "Oh, I like what you're doing up here in the corner." And so when I was in one studio art course at Penn, I had a teacher that started doing that with me. "Oh, I like what you're doing." He said, "No, this is terrible." And he grabbed my palette and he started putting slashes across my canvas. And that was one of the best lessons I ever had, that to your point, that, and in fact, one of the things, I literally just wrote this on something about how I developed a thick hide as an artist, that I invite criticism, because everybody comes to your shows and they tell you how wonderful it was and how much they like your work, blah, 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 blah. The bottom line is, if you like it so much, buy something. That's the ultimate criticism, right? Nobody comes to your show and says, "Wow, this really sucks, Ray." So I think artists over time develop a thick hide, at least in visual arts. And so I love the answer you just gave about
I remember the first time that I assisted Maestro Montgomery, he asked me to take notes for an orchestra dress rehearsal with Barbara Seville. And so I took notes for him, in the house, balance notes. It was just one page. And I gave it to him and he looked at it and he said, "You obviously weren't listening." And I just loved it. So the next rehearsal, I had pages. He goes, "Great, let's work through these." And I just thought, you can't do it all. I mean, there are certain people that can do it all, but knowing that you need a team to help you, because you don't know what it sounds like in the hall, and when you're in the pit, you have no idea, especially if it's a new house. So you have to rely on other people, and hopefully you've created an environment where your assistants, I hate to say that, but your collaborators on the music staff are there to give you the honest truth so that you can make the product shimmer and shine. I try to do that as much as possible.